Hello crafters! This is Suzanne from A Creative Muse. I am here to introduce you to the Flower Market Collection. Only 2 items and they're both stencils. No dies, just stencils. So before I get started into this video, don't forget that Spellbinders is having their early access Black Friday sale. I will also link my video with tons of examples and details on all the goodies that are in this Steals and Deals sale. Alrighty crafters, let's just go right into this video. Let's get started. So as you can see, I made 2 cards. After this video, I'm going to go into a shader brush review because I received my waffle flower shader brushes. So I'll talk about that in a separate video. I did use them 90% on this. This is a bigger image, so I had to go to a bigger brush, but pretty much I was experimenting with those shader brushes. Still fabulous. In the Flower Market collection, you're going to get 2 stencils. The first stencil is the Coneflower stencil, a 5-piece stencil. The second stencil, Blossoming Flower stencils, 4 pieces. Now what I did, because you know I always tell you guys I'm not the best stenciler. It's a little bit overcast today. Can you see that number 1? Right there in the top left corner, it'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does have a square to show like the registration marks. But what I did, I lined all of them up together and I punched holes in these 3 corners to create my own registration mark. I like the holes for placement to keep my stencil straight. So I just went ahead and punched those. Punched through so many layers of plastic at one time because I did it like this and punched it. I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers Crocodile Big Bite. It's this tool. She is super old, but she is a solid tool. If you are new to crafting, this is a great tool to have. You can use it to set eyelets, punch through things. Punch here, see, like that. You can do a small punch or a bigger punch. I did the small punch here. This is a tool, not the cheapest in the world, but solid, very solid. So that's a crafter's best friend. It's also great like if you have to punch an extra hole in your shoe strap or in your leather belt. It'll help you with all of that. So I'd punch those holes just to keep my stencil straight. These little frosted corners, it's hard for me to see, and that's why I punched a hole, okay? I did cut my hammer mill cardstock, oversized, to then put those registration marks and get my stenciling done. Coneflower stencil, Blossoming Flower stencil. Card number 1. This is like my favorite. I love all these yellows and browns. It's so fall. This is the Blossoming Flower stencil. That's stencil 1. Then you go into the leaves, 2. Super easy. 3. And then 4. 4 gives you the centers and those little triangles. So I did 2 different colors. I did a dark brown here and that lighter honey color there. Super easy to use, but I think it's very pretty. If you want to practice your stenciling, this is a nice set to have. And I did use a combination of my Shader 1 Plus brush. This is new from Waffle Flower, and also a bigger blending brush. I got this from Amazon. I like them because they come with the little caps, okay? So I will link both of these below. And then I also went into the browns. In the next video, I'll talk about these shader brushes because I do really love them. What I'm actually using here, it's mostly Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated ink and a little bit of Gina K. It's the Simon Says Stamps browns and those yellows with a little bit of Gina. This sentiment, thankful for everything you do. One of my favorite Better Press plates. This is a Better Press plate of the month from September. Sunflower Corners. I adore this sentiment at this size with a coordinating die. In this instance, I glimmered it. As you can see, it's like a dark gold. And I had this done from way before, just sitting there in this package. And I was like, you know what? I want to use that sentiment. I think it's perfect here. Let me show you the original way. That was the first time I used it here. This is with blue Better Press ink. Then here, this is also Better Press ink. Both of these are Kit Club items, actually. This is that corner, that sunflower corner. I love to use this sentiment by itself. For this card with so many flowers, this just ties it in nicely. Then to finish it off, I did some gold mixed gems. Those are on sale right now. To layer this up, this is another item that's on sale. For both cards, I was playing with Precision Layering A2A, Precision Layering A2B, these sets of dies. I talked about this in the previous video. I'm doing that whole 1/8 of an inch increment. And when it's 1/8 of an inch, it's not 1/8 of an inch here, it's 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So this spacing is actually 1/16 of an inch. We have this 1/16, 1/16. This is a side opening A2 card. Precision layering A2A, the largest die. That's your A2, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch tall. 1/8 lower is this die. That's this one, the brown. What I cut the image in is the third one. So what you do is you go between these two. There are 16 dies each, 32. This is now on sale for half off, $12.50. Let me say that again, $12.50. These sets normally sell twice that price or more, not 25, like 30 something. So I love this. To cut that image, like I said, I went into here. Light brown is here. Then the dark brown is the largest one. So you can play with your layers. What I did also, because I had inked this oversized, to straighten out that image, I would use the die to line up where I wanted to cut. Let's say I wanted to cut like this, or like this, or like this. This helps me to be straight, as opposed to me trying to trim it down. This has been like my little crafty assistant in terms of lining up things. And I love the 5x7 matting basics when I go larger too. That helps me also. It also helps me with better press images. It's easier with a die. So that's what I did here. I layered up those dies, and then this inked background is on top of this. Then these two are popped off of that. So there is a little bit of height, not much. I used some foam and popped it up. Up next is Cone Flowers Stencil. This one gives you 7 flowers. You get the little buds, you get the full bloom, and here are the stencils. This one has 5, the last one has 4. So you start off with that little stem first, then the leaves. And with this one, I was using Pink Fresh Studio ink actually for the green. Little ink cubes. I like to buy ink cubes in pretty colors. This is stencil number 3 with the flower. This is the Altenew ink I used when I did the waffle flower example. I will link that video here where I talked about the shader brush and I did that ink blending. Number 4, the center of the cone flowers. See, very easy stencil to use. Number 5, do the dots and those lines. And that's it. And the numbers are in that top left corner. If you are going backwards, you would know. I would know because I did punch them. And again, I played with precision layering A2, A and B, same layering effect. Also, I didn't pop this one up. This first card has dimension. This one is much thinner. So this one will be like low postage. For the sentiment, I'm using the Popular Sentiment dies. I believe this is on sale. I'll put the price here. I love this little bubble happy birthday. I was thinking of using Glimmer or a Better Press Sentiment, but I think the die works on this one. I love this colorway, the black gray center, deep pinks, and then the green. And then I just had this little touch of pink out here to bring it back. Again, I use that same trifecta of those dies, the A2, and then coming in 1/8 of an inch, then 1/8 of an inch. This one is that third one in to cut the image. So it just gives you that really nice lineup. All right, crafters. I just wanted to hop on real quick to show you the Flower Market collection. 2 stencils. That's it. But aren't these pretty? This makes for quick card making. Also great for practicing your ink blending. These are very forgiving stencils to work with. Alrighty, crafters. Everything will be detailed and linked below. Until the next video, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.